Hi everybody, Adam Steele from Hot Pole Studios here, and today we're going to talk about this beast. I got this Peavey 6505 on an absolute bargain, but the owner said there may be a problem with it, so today that conjured up a little experiment. He mentioned that the tubes, the valves, may all need replacing, or at least one of them may need replacing because it sounded faulty, so I'm going to try a little experiment. Does an amp sound different when you replace all the valves all at once? Because we've done power amps, we've done first stage of the valve section, now let's do all of it. So having done a little bit of investigating with trying this amp out, if I am to plug a guitar into the normal input and then use the amp as I would, it sounds absolutely fine, it sounds great to me. If I was to plug into the high gain input, then the input sound keeps kind of fading in and out, which suggests to me either a problem with a capacitor, which I'm definitely going to have to take this to a tech, or a problem with one of the early valves, which, if we're going to replace them, could entirely replace the problem and get the whole thing fixed. So there are two things that we're going to do in this video today. Question number one, is replacing all the valves going to fix this weird volume issue? And number two, even if it doesn't fix the issue, the normal gain channel still works perfectly well, so what we're going to do is we're going to compare the sound of the normal gain channel and hopefully the high gain channel if we can, but definitely the normal gain channel, between the old valves and the new valves. And the new valves are a set I specifically got from Watford Valves. In the UK, these are the guys to go to. So they actually do a specific set for the Peavey 6505, which is the Groove Tubes 6L6GC General Electric reissues, the premium valve versions, which have all been matched as a quad set, and they've done a 24-hour burn-in test. And also these Harmer ECC383 retro valves, one of which has been specifically picked for its balanced output, which is going to be used in the phase inverter position, which means that the power section is going to get the best sound it can possibly get. And these apparently have been designed to sound like the old Mullard 12AX7 ECC83 valves, which means that we should, in theory, get a quote-unquote better sound. Whether we get a different sound at all, we're about to see. Like I say, these new valves have all had a 24-hour burn-in at Watford Valves, which means that I don't need to run them for 24 hours myself before I can test them, which is something I really appreciate from Watford Valves, because it means that it is literally plug and play. Because even though you do need to do that burn-in test, arguably, they've already done it. And that means not only if it's going to affect the sound has that been done, but you know that the valves aren't just going to blow because they've been doing a test on them at full load for that period of time. If they're still working, they should be fine. I know I'm talking a lot, but we're going to get to the sound clips very soon. Apologies. But one thing I wanted to mention is most of the feedback we've had on the videos is, you never do clean tones, I don't like all this distorted stuff. So even though we do focus on rock and metal, I'm going to make sure that we do a little bit of a Telecaster and a little bit of a Les Paul, run through the rhythm channel without any crunch mode and with the gain relatively low. So it's essentially a clean tone, maybe with a tiny bit of grit. This thing's never going to be a Fender twin reverb, but it can do quite clean tones, so we're going to do a little bit of that with a super clean sound. We're going to use a Zilla vertical 4x12, which is a new cab of mine, but I'm going to leave that in the control room and use a speaker wire all the way through to here, leaving that in the live room, with an SM57 and with a room microphone ribbon a little further back blended together, so that then never gets touched. The sound of the cabinet is going to be a constant because that's not going to be affected by anything that we do. I'm going to take photographs of the settings so that in case anything gets knocked when we change the valves, we can put everything back exactly as it was, eliminating all areas room for doubt. It's an 8 ohm cabinet, so we're going to run the head at 8 ohms as well. We're trying to eliminate every variable, and we're going to use a radial reamp box, and we're going to use the same each time, so that we've got exactly the same performance, exactly the same sound. No outside influences can change anything. The only thing that's going to change is the valves. And yes, I am going to change them all at once, but having changed 6L6 power tubes in one video and having changed a 12AX7 in another video, this is just a video to demonstrate, does changing everything make a difference? And we'll find out very shortly. So, I'll put timestamps in the description so you can flick between the sounds, but I'm going to now play you a clean sound with a Telecaster, firstly with the original valves, then with the replacements. Then I'm going to play you a Les Paul clean on the neck pickup with the old ones, then the new ones. Okay, so now we're going to back to back doing heavy tones. So they're going to be double tracked left and right, which I find makes it more noticeable when there's a difference. No tube screamer, no boost, just as it is. And I'm going to play old valves, new valves, back to back. Then I'm going to play them in context with some bass and some drums, so if there is any difference, see if you can hear it in the mix. Then I'm going to do a quick third one with a lead tone just on its own, old valves, new valves. Then I'm going to do that with the solo with everything going and see if there is any difference there. So what do you reckon? Did you hear a difference? Let me know in the comments what differences you heard, if any. Because some people, I've really been impressed by the responses on the valve comparison videos. Some people have heard no difference, some people have heard very specific differences, some people have completely disagreed on the differences that they've heard. So I want to hear from you guys. What did you think? Did it make a difference? I know for a fact that changing valves every so often is a good way to keep on top of stability, reliability, and all that kind of stuff. But I have seen amps from the 60s and the 70s that still use the original valves perfectly well if they were designed well and they've not been abused. So, it really depends. Yeah, if you found this interesting, whether you agree with what we found or not, because hopefully this is impartial, what you're hearing is not biased by me. If you found this useful, hit the like button. And if you're looking for more stuff like this, hit subscribe, because we're going to be coming out with more content like this. As always, this is part of what we do. We do gear reviews, we do computer builds for audio production. We have a weekly podcast called Hot Pole Position where we talk live every Thursday. We've got all sorts of stuff and we want you to be there and be part of it. So thanks for watching. Sorry for all the waffling, and I hope you've appreciated the actual sound clips. I'm Adam Steele for Hot Pole Studios, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, feel free to check out our other videos, as you can find here, or check out our Facebook and Twitter, or our Patreon page, which helps us to make more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.